And as you mentioned there, you went from Dio and the wonderful Ronnie to David Coverdale, who's another incredible vocalist. I mean, he always comes across as an incredible, fun spirit. What was your time like with David then?
It was amazing. I mean, we hit it off. You know, I was only kind of planning. We were only planning to do 2-month tour, and David has done very well. He wanted to bring Whitesnake back. He had an offer to do a co-headline tour with the Scorpions, and we went out and we had such a blast. And he and I hit it off, and we decided to keep going and keep touring. And eventually, Ronnie, I had to kind of decide what band I was going to be in, and that was difficult because I loved Ronnie. And I went back to Ronnie in 2005 and did some work with Ronnie, and he said, "Look, man, I really want you to come back, and you got to make up your mind." And I said, "Well, I will, Ronnie." So I spoke to David Coverdale, and I explained, "Look, I need two things. One, if you want Whitesnake to move forward, we need to make some new music together, or as a band, I meant." And because I said, otherwise, I had just done this real run with Ronnie and had a blast, and that's when David said, "Yeah, you and I will be in the studio together at some point. Don't know when, but we will." And once David and I started writing together, it was really clear that we were on a good roll. And in the end, we wrote 30-some odd songs together, and we co-produced everything together. We had a little production team called the Brutal Brothers, and because we would be like brutal on each other, like nothing was, we wouldn't let anything just slide by. It was always, we wouldn't let anything slip through unless it was good enough. So, and I'm really proud of that time with Whitesnake.
And there was new music, the first new music for Whitesnake for about a decade at that point, wasn't it? So getting in there and being part of that family, because obviously the Whitesnake family is huge and so incredible, some of the names that have gone through that band as well. So that must be really heartening for you to be a strong part of that group as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the feeling of creating music anytime with anybody is really, when you're excited about it, when you're into what you're doing, and you're in this little room and you create, you have a musical melody or a drum beat that turns into a song, and then you've got, both Ronnie and David were in this room with me working at various times, and David more than Ronnie, but there was a couple times where I'd, have David here and he'd start singing, I'd play something, he'd start singing, and it was just like goosebumps, and the song "Good to Be Bad" was one of them. I was sitting right here, right where you are, and I said, I got this idea, and I said, here's kind of the melody, here's what I'm hearing, which I never really told a singer like what I was thinking, because I was always afraid that they would get mad at me, or they would say like, well, I'll do it myself, don't worry about it. But I said, I got this idea, bah, 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 hey, tell me, babe, da, da, bah, what's on your mind? And David goes, oh, I like that. And then all of a sudden he sang it. It was just like, whoa, that's what I was hearing, And so it's a great feeling to have a piece of music that you've just created and nobody knows about it. Not your family, not your wife, not your friends, nobody except for you and whoever you're creating with. It's really an exciting, amazing feeling. And me and David had a lot of those, so it was cool.